Hello and welcome to another horror review. Oh my god. Right. Before we begin, I've made it no secret. I bloody hate found footage horror movies. I just don't like it. Hate them. They do my head in. But meanwhile, Cameron's just been badgering at me for ages. Go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch this one. This one's different. Go watch it. Go watch it. Alright, Cameron, I'll go and watch it. Doesn't help the fact that this weekend there's been a few bits released, but not over in the UK. So we're been left out. A couple of movies have come out, released in cinemas, streaming services, but yeah, we don't get that. So I'm in a bad mood anyway. So this appeared on Shudder, and I thought I'd give it a go. Thought, okay, what's the worst? May as well give it a comments. Hello, Benjamin. Greetings. Yeah, God, this bloody movie. So, the idea behind it, and also for the record, I hate 3D movies as well. Do you remember they were a thing? And the studios were pumping them out like nobody's business. Everything had to be 3D, and it was just Avatar worked because it was basically a cartoon, and that seemed to go okay. Tron Legacy worked, and it's supposed to try to reverse, but I think it's basically a cartoon as well, so it seems to work with animated stuff, but physical movies, not so much. Every other one that came out just be absolutely abysmal. Don't like 3D movies. So this is a combination of the two. Found footage and fucking 3D. And it's also taken the worst elements of Scream. So they decided to go meta with it as well. So there you go. There's a toxic pot of crap. Just, you know that whole theory of you put enough poison to cancel each other out, maybe get something good. Maybe that's what they were thinking of. Okay, if we add everyone hits 3D, so we'll add that. Found footage is annoying, add that, and then we'll add the whole meta aspect, we'll add that too, and maybe it might turn out okay. God, no, right. So it starts off, it's based on a bunch of filmmakers making an indie movie. And they even talk about, at the very beginning, they talk about making a found footage movie. What people hate about them, I completely agree, and how they're going to do it differently. So what's the first thing we hear about found footage? Why are you carrying a camera around? And many found footage movies where people are going around screeching, shaking a bloody camera like this. Especially if you've seen my review of Archive 81, you've got the main character, that absolute screeching harpy, going around shaking a was it a Sony camera? Yeah, but with a tape. And that it just looks horrible. Oh, hi Dale. Well, we've got a few people in tonight. Oh, then get busy. Don't tell me you're all expecting a glowing review of this movie, because you're not going to get it. This one absolutely baked my noodle. Yeah, so why are they holding the camera in the first place? They even talk about this before the start. Okay, we'll have to have a reason. So for this movie, it's supposed to be like a movie within a Dorska effect, movie within a movie, watching a movie and us seeing it transpire. Every cliche, and even spend, like I said, they spend 10-15 minutes talking about every freaking cliche in this type of genre that you don't want to do. And then they proceed to go and use every freaking cliche in the making of this. Oh god, man. So they have that. And of course they have to have a bit of soap opera type drama. So it can't just be a group of close-knit filmmakers that want to work on a project. Oh no. We'll have to have drama. So straight away we'll have the director, main guy, I think it's Derek. Derek's the main guy, and of course he has to be an arsehole. You know what I mean? He couldn't be a stand-up guy, he has to be a complete arsehole, because we need the drama. So that's a red flag straight away. You're going to get a shit movie. And then, of course, they've hired a couple of actresses. So, of course, one of them has to be Derek's ex. We've got the guy that's doing all the filming. God, what was his name? It was like was it Carl or Mark? Well, I don't know. These people are just so generic. They're your typical generic actors that you just can't wait to die. Characters. So you've got generic Mr. Nice Guy who's doing all the filming, and he's supposed to be documenting the making of the film, but yet they're recording it as, as always with these movies, they lose it and they replace Because the whole point of my perception of found footage is it's found. It's not going to be a complete picture. But what the mistake they make with all these movies is they replace the actual camera work with found footage. So they think that if you're viewing it as a film being made through a phone or a camcorder, that's somehow found footage, but it's not. So they'll have the camera and everything. So they've used this guy, he's documented, so they'll have him going around pointing the camera. Like 2 days that, you'd have buried him yourself, you know what I mean? You'd have punched him because every time you turn around, he's got something pointing in your face. Plus, he can't be everywhere at once. So he can't just conveniently be in every dramatic moment. And they're filming a house and they've got plot of our head and there's a bar and stuff, so there's characters moving around and he just seems to be conveniently everywhere where stuff happens. And that's what breaks it for me with this sort of genre. It does my head in, and these guys acknowledge this at the start and then go and do it. There you go. So they're heading, they're packing up the car. That has to be a drama as well. Oh, how much equipment, blah, blah, blah. The sound guy coming in being real prissy. Super duper equipment. And then it turns out later on that Derek actually owns the equipment. He loaned him the money. And the manufactured drama in this just knows you got a shit movie. No, it's just really off-putting. And you just can't wait for them to get wiped out. So they all head out. We get conversations, of course, happening behind people's backs, but the guy's recording it, so it all comes out later to create more soap opera shite. Oh, God. This is going to be a struggle. Honestly, I'm going to struggle to get through this. So forgive me if I get through this as quickly as possible. Just to dull my own pain. I think Cameron hates me. I think he just wants me to suffer. Because he hadn't thought about this for ages. It's on, you've seen some of our shows where you're like, yeah, you gotta watch it, it's good, watch it. And then Adam joined in one of them and like, you gotta watch it, it's great. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, all right then. They head out. And then they meet a couple of locals. And then they have the idea, let's get them and video them, tell them not to go to the place. Fuck, you could actually see it coming. So they're sitting in front of the camera and they're saying they're going to a certain farm and they want the guys to go, oh no, don't go there. That's spooky. And they keep messing up the take because they're not actors. And then as soon as they finish with the take, they actually say the name of the farm they're going to. And then the guys jump straight into the character going, oh no, don't go there. And you're like, fuck that, why didn't you just do that at the start? You know what I mean? That's the utter stupidity of this. Treating your audience as if they're stupid. That really bugs me. It's a lowbrow, not even slasher, but found footage is not exactly highbrow entertainment. And people watch it like popcorn. They're not really paying attention. They just want to see cool, spooky stuff. But don't treat your audience as if they're friggin' stupid. And that's what this is doing. That scene. And that really annoyed me. Like, man, she just done it right first time. And said nothing about it. But they're trying to be clever. Once again, I've said this before 100 times. When somebody's trying to be pretentious and clever, usually because they're not, and it comes across their creativity because they want to be big brain highbrow, and they come across looking really pretentious and stupid, and has the opposite effect. And that's what these arseholes are doing. Really annoyed me. Like at that point, you just knew they've already told you at the start what they're doing wrong, and then they go and do it, and then do this thing, and they're treating you like a bunch of plebs. And that's the attitude of these guys. So I don't think they're acting. Do you know what I mean? I think it's actually the attitude of the creators of how they feel about the audience watching the genre of movie. I'll never slag anybody off for liking anything. You know what I mean? You like what you like. Same way I like certain stuff that probably make people cringe, and other stuff I won't. That's the world. But if you're a creator and you treat your audience like they're absolute morons, they're going to pick up on it. You know what I mean? And I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, but when I think somebody's talking down to me, I usually pick up on it, and that's what I got from across that particular scene. They go to the house, they start setting up, and they're getting ready to film. And of course, things start going wrong. Oogie woogie boo, bumping the night type stuff, and it's done really badly. There's a scene in the kitchen where they've all the what do you call it, the ratchet things to push all the plates out, and it sets off early, and of course it's not plugged in, dun, 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 dun. Just dumb. Yeah, I hated this movie. I hate these types of movies. It's like I said, I don't like the Scream franchise. First one was alright. I don't even remember that halfway through the second one. I went to see it in the cinema and I zoned out. I've never watched any other ones. Hate it. Don't like found footage. And, it's just, I don't like soap operas. And that's the combination. I mean, they're throwing soap opera drama into this as well. And it's just pathetic. Give me like, I've talked about Poltergeist before. We've got a strong family unit and they face the antagonist. And it's actually more rewarding to see the strength of a bond. Should it be a group of friends? We'll see it in Dog Soldiers, tight unit. They've all got each other's backs, and it's the outside elements that are fighting against it. And watching them work as a team and still get overwhelmed is more of a drama. It gives you more investment with the characters, and then it makes more of a tragedy when they do get picked off because you've invested a bit and you're like, oh no. That's the sort of movies I enjoy. I want to invest in the character, and then it makes it more of a tragedy because I'm invested. I'm along for the ride, and then when somebody does get wiped out, I'm a bit shocked on And of course, you've always got that one antagonistic character that you can't wait to get killed. And I love the movie that has that one antagonistic character, and it teases you along. And you're like, is it going to be it? No, they're going to drag it out to the end of the movie or at a certain point, and you're just waiting for that moment. I love that type of stuff. With this, it's that generic. Nobody's likable in this. Even the guy that is holding the camera is supposed to be the nice guy, isn't, because Derek and his missus have split up. They're still not fully resolved, and then he ends up shagging her, and they catch it because every time they run out, they investigate something to bring out the camera, and that's where it gets stupid. Because everyone's first instinct is to switch on a camera and run around with a camera. Like, you don't do it. You can understand the guy who is documenting everything, having the camera on. That would make sense. But when you just got everyone picking up cameras, no. The ghost in this is absolutely ridiculous. They tried to... Dale, you bloody write better stories in the space of a couple of days than half of these idiots do. The sooner you hurry up and get yourself published and out there so I can buy your stuff, the better. Seriously. These people are a joke, but the problem is they're connected. And they get funded, and they... they'll get their little click, they get these wee projects, and they get out there. And then it's accepted that that's what you have to be like to create. That's why this channel is all about independent creators and trying to do our little bit to go against this, because there's too much, like I said, there's too many found footage. It doesn't matter what the style is. The main company, this is the latest thing, so we've got to pump out the latest thing. And then they'll go to the meta stuff. We've got to pump this out. It's October, we've got to pump out Halloween type movies. And it goes on and on and on. I've made the fast food analogy so many times. It's the same burgers, same fries. All they do is change the box and the plastic thing comes with it. It's the same crap. Nothing actually changes. And what they do is they rip the arse out of something until you're sick of it. And then I think it's almost purposely done to make you sick of it so you're ready for the next thing. Be a good little consumer and don't have any discerning tastes. And now they're weaponizing social media. So if you set up and say you don't like anything, then you have people dogpiling on you for no reason. This is the cynical, toxic, non-creative, creative space that we live in. And this movie is a perfect example of they're trying to go against the narrative and go against the trend, and then they're actually more entrenched in the trend. And that's what I really despise about it. It could have been clever. Acknowledging the things and then not telling the full story. Because to me, that was the idea of found footage. Blair Witch did it okay, you know, at the start, but I wasn't, you know, once again, audience, people who are that stupid, because something new comes on and they actually believe it was real, you're not going to put that out in the cinema, let's be honest. Just as is. Doesn't happen. So it was, I mean, of course it was fake, but people get that ideologically invested in something, and then if you go against them or burst the little world bubble, they attack you. Mental. People are great, aren't they? Eh? Just love people. So, anyway, this carries on. Here's an example of a scene. One of the girls, was it Lily? Lily and Naomi are the two girls. Lily was one of them. One was blonde hair, one was like shorter. But she gets bopped in the head with a shovel that set up the fall deliberately. So they're using the idea of the props for the movie going wrong because of a spectral force. She gets bopped in the head, and now anyone else would have dropped the camera. Do you know what I mean? And ran, and that would have made more sense, but had it dropped. But no, he walks to get it all in shot. Because, yeah. And that's what annoys me with this genre, because they've just replaced the camera lens, telling it from a third-party perspective, trying to make it a first-party. And they're so afraid of missing something, or, once again, you're too stupid to understand or fill in the blanks yourself. We have to spell it out for you by covering every aspect through a various camera lens. And that's, like I said, I just find it insulting. And I'm no snob. Anyone who knows me knows I'm no snob. But this is just, you know what I mean, when they're being really insulting to you and treating you like you're an idiot with this type of genre, it bugs me. They did her makeup quite well, and actually, she did get a shiner from it. You know, did her makeup as a shiner and kept her with a black eye through it. You know, why normally with movies, somebody gets an injury and then they're cured the next day as if it never happened. So at least the injury sustained, the black eye she got stayed. So that was pretty decent. There was one bit where they dropped the camera and everyone, all you saw were people feet standing around, which made sense. You know what I mean? It just dropped on the floor and people are talking and you don't see it. So they knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? It's the same as if you drop a camera and it points up the ceiling and you don't see anything, but you hear it. That would be good. That would make sense for found footage. But don't do it once, maybe twice throughout this whole movie, and the rest is just the cliche crap. And then because I watched this in 2D, obviously, but the stupid thing they did was they then start showing split screen with two different cameras going, obviously to give the 3D effect. Who's watching this? I mean, the whole point of found footage is you've picked up a camera from a crime site or where people go missing, and then you're watching this footage, trying to piece together what's going on. To me, that's the essence of what a found footage film should be. No, when you have a split screen and two cameras going at once, that's not found footage. That's just using cameras and just making a movie. So to go against them, people start getting killed. I can't even remember the order because I didn't care. The last 20 minutes of this movie was a slog. I mean, I'm sitting going, God, is this not over yet? And you know when you're watching the timer and there's 10 minutes left to go and you're like, oh, for God's sake, is this not over yet? The last 20 minutes is just painful. Just dragged it out. And then they're trying to... What was the excuse to come up with? Oh, we need the light from the camera. Yeah, we don't have the camera switched on to use the light. And secondly, waste battery. But once again, they're treating you like you're flipping stupid. And that just... who recommended it? My co-host, Cameron, just likes to see me suffer. And he's been talking about this one because I've mentioned that quite vocally once or twice, or maybe 6 or 7 times, that I hate found footage. And he's like, oh, try this one, it's really good. I think he just likes to wind me up, if I'm honest. And we've actually, last time we did a stream together, he's like, we're agreeing and stuff. We're not fighting anymore. What's going on? So we need to find like a proper movie. In fact, this would have been a perfect one for us to argue about. Because he'd be like, that's great. You're crazy, man. You're not right in the head. You don't enjoy stuff. And I'd be like, oh, fuck you. Yeah, we need to find we need to get back to that because he's my best buddy. He's one of my best buddies, and yeah, we'll fight about stuff. But then that's what it's about. Not everybody likes everything the same, and sometimes you can have a really spirited argument, but it doesn't mean you lose friendships over it. That's other nonsense about social media and stuff we like to talk about in here. Where you have to like exactly the same thing, 100% as everybody else, just to be amiable towards each other. Not even friendship is mental. Yeah, there's movies he loves that I absolutely despise, and vice versa. There's movies I'm thinking absolutely brilliant, and he's just like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And that's the joy of life, and that's having that conversation, because then you realize why you like something, and like there's times you change people's minds. Like Archive 81, we both we both hated it, and Adam loved it, and it's like he actually changed his mind by the end of the stream, just because we're not, it's not like you like us or fall like we, just having a conversation. Same as somebody watching this. You could watch this movie and absolutely love it and think I'm mental. That's fair enough. But I don't think I'm wrong. And it doesn't mean I'm going to obviously change my mind and go and watch it again and go, yippee. It would take a lot. There's only one found footage. In fact, that's one we argued about. I really enjoyed Troll Hunter. It's like a Norwegian found footage. I really enjoyed that movie. Cameron hated it. So there was something we talked about briefly, where I'm like, really, I just love the whole premise behind it. I love the storyline. I love the effects for the troll at the end, brilliant. Few cool scenes in there. And I'm not a fan, as I've stated quite openly, I'm not a fan of this genre. But it doesn't mean you close yourself off completely, because that's the worst thing I think you can do as a reviewer or as a creative, is to close your mind off to something, even if you don't like it. Understand why you don't like something and then use it to make what you create better. Or talk about, like, I don't like people on YouTube that get overexcited about everything and they're up in the camera like this and they're super animated, and I just find it really tiring. I don't like clickbait and all that sort of crap, so I try not to be like that. But I understand why I don't like it and what I don't enjoy, and I try to find my own way and do something different. So there's merit in watching stuff you don't like, because you can still get ideas and so on. But I'm going on another tangent. Yep. But yeah, this movie, especially when they stated the reasons at the beginning why this genre doesn't work, and then they went and did everything, and they did it worse because they tried to be meta with it as well, and that doesn't, you have to be super clever. It's like breaking the fourth wall. You have to be really, really keyed in to use that sort of technique. There's, you can't do it half-arsed. You have to be all in. You have to be really thinking, and you have to have like some really clever dialogue to get that to work, or else it just falls flat. Probably why they're advanced. That's why there's super niche movies that use that. It just doesn't work. Like Wes Craven's Final Nightmare. That was kind of the meta. This is kind of the theme of this. It was going along that meta line of the characters playing themselves in the movie, and the actors and actresses playing themselves in the movie while jumping into their character. It can be jarring if it's not done right. Sadly, Wes is no longer with it, but Wes Craven, he really understood that. He understood movies. That's why it's such a fantastic career. And even though there's duds, there's more successes than duds, and while always his memory will live on, and the likes of him will never be replicated. Especially in this current climate, you'll never see the likes of him again. But this, yeah. God, what happened at the end? Yes, the spirit started in. First of all, the spirit is killing people itself, and then it was possessing people and getting into it. So it was kind of doing both, and just became a mess. And it did a bit of blood and splatter, which was done well. In fact, I'll give this props. They used practical effects for like the blood and splatter and stuff, and it was done really well. So I'll give them that. The location was cool that they used. The premise for the movie, was a good idea, and it could have been really went against the genre, but just the execution was awful. So you know, there's my review. I waffled on a bit because I fucking hate these type of movies. Hate them. Don't make me watch any more, please. But there you go. If you've any comments, leave them down below. Obviously, we're streaming out to a couple of different platforms, so wherever you find this, leave a comment. If you agree, disagree, don't be nasty. Just state why, and we can have a conversation about it. Thanks for everyone in chat for tuning in. Keep up to date with the channel. Loads of stuff going on. Plenty of live streams coming up. And until next time, keep it creepy. Keep it horrific.